Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope y'all are doing great. We are back for another Magazine Monday with Crafts Beautiful issue 327. I hope you enjoyed last Monday's project. So what are we going to be making this week? I really want to try to make this, so we'll get to that later. But you know, I'm into easel cards right now, so I think we're going to work on this project. This project right here, and it says experiment with different card folds. I already know how to make easel cards, so I'm going to cheat a little bit. But I went online again this week to see if I could find the additional stuff that they have listed right here. And if you go to this website, let me know if I'm doing something wrong. It's just really busy. It's a busy website. They have so much stuff going on. And I think sometimes when you have busy websites, it's hard to focus on one particular thing, like to have everything. Because this is not just a card making magazine, like I said it before. It is a crafts magazine with lots and lots of crafts in it. So when you have a lot of stuff, it's hard to pinpoint. But anyway, we're going to do this. So let's get started. Okay, again, I don't know the size of this card, but it is very square, unlike the cards that I normally make, which are rectangular. And I feel like this is probably a smaller card than what I have, because this stamp, which I screwed up on that one, but we're still going to use it. I think I can fix it. It's not that big, as you can tell. It's not that big. It is from, let's see, it is about 3 by 4.5 maybe. Not even. From widest to widest is 3 by 3 almost, approximately. So, and then they have this, so that's only a 3, and then this is probably another base piece with the whole entire card front. So I felt like we needed something else on here, some butterflies. I wasn't going to add any other of the little flowers. I can't speak today, I apologize. Without having so much glare. You see they have other little flowers that I could have popped in, but I feel like I'm gonna use that for something else. So I just grabbed this butterfly and this little butterfly. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I am gonna do the one I messed up first. So what I did is I stamped it out, and I went to move the card, and I realized that some of it didn't go down all the way, and silly me, I moved the card right. Why would I do that? So I'm thinking to cover up some of the like blurred vision, you know, I can throw some sparkly on there, and maybe it'll look like it was intentional, which it purely was accidental only. I'm going to be using Azure and probably the Spectrum Noir markers to just throw in some color. And, you know, butterflies are so beautiful. Any color you color them, I think would look good on there. So I'm not too concerned about that they're not going to be pretty. I'm going to try, whenever I try to do this, I always end up kind of not doing it right. And by not doing it right, I mean like I feel like it's a little bit off, but we're going to try and do some double coloring. And I want to make this video no longer than 15 minutes, so I will go off and come back, you know, go off and come back. So let's go ahead and color this in. Oh, let's color this circle, the center in. Your centers don't have to be yellow. I just like throwing a little bit of yellow in. You can even tell the difference. This one is much darker than that card. We will do some other things, like they have ribbon on there, and you know, I released that ribbon video, you know, ribbon condensing, space saving video. So I've been going through some things. You know, I think we as regular crafters, not crafters that are into, I'm going to put that to the side because I'm only going to do one card with you, and I'll do the other one, you know, alone. I think we're unrealistic in some of our goals. Like, I've heard people say things like, I need to, my craft room is going to be completely up and running in a day. Yes, your craft room can be completely up and running in a day if you don't have any crafts, you haven't restructured, you haven't taken anything out of your craft room, and you don't have a big mess already. I'll tell you why. It can be done in a day because you don't have anything in your craft room. But if you have an existing craft room, maybe you're doing this by yourself, and you're doing this, let's say, primarily by yourself, or maybe you have a helper, and a helper is the person that you're telling where everything is going, unless you have a professional organizer that's coming through and organizing your stuff for you. But let's talk about regular, real people who have lives, who may have children, doesn't matter the age, who may need them for some strange reason the day you decide to get organized. He or she needs you, or your grandkids need you. If you have grandchildren, you may have to pick them up from, school, after school activities. It's no way you're going to get all of that done in a day. And that's the whole thing about organizing. I think sometimes we do overspend and we buy way too much stuff, and we get caught up in, I need to organize, I need to organize, I need to organize. Well, you're spending all your time organizing, and then you're getting frustrated with yourself because you have so much stuff. And I'm telling you this from my experience. I have collected more than I crafted because, I told you at some point I was like, I know that I'm going to use this. I know that I'm going to need this. I don't know when. And then, I have a problem with deals. So if I see something that's 10 cents, I got to get it, even if I'm not going to use it now. So what I really have done is went from having the store the stuff to me storing the things. And that's another reason why I'm going to be just digging in things and using them. I found a stamp set that I thought was really pretty on the picture, on the cover, and I stamped it out, and I absolutely did not, I didn't even like it, because manufacturers have a way of making things look way more better or prettier than what they really are. So that's something you got to keep in mind, especially when it's, in my opinion, and you could tell me how you feel in the comment section about, trying to organize and giving yourself deadlines. I think some people crack under pressure. I'm just using this glitter pen to highlight the edging. I think that looks cute. And even though you can't see it up close, once it dries, it tends to look a lot better than just right now. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. You can't, I personally don't think it's fair to you, the person that's trying to get whatever organized, and you're beating yourself up like saying, I gave myself a day deadline to get all this done. It did not take you a day to make that mess. Like if you have been crafting for 5, 10, 20 years, and you decide to go and try to organize your home or your craft space in a day, that's just not realistic. Like that's probably one of the most unrealistic goals I've ever heard anyone say. Very ambitious, but definitely unrealistic. So, don't beat yourself up. What I normally do, like I'm still working on those darn stamps because the regular life got in the way, and I just kind of lost motivation because it's hard. It's very hard and time consuming to organize. I have boxes and boxes of stamps that I've gone through, and I chose that I don't want them. And you all know that I'm not a big alpha fan at all. Like I'm not big into alpha stamps. Like I do have a few alpha stamps, but I'm definitely not like, ooh, I need that new funny shaped alpha stamp set. Ooh, they have the capital and the lowercase. Ooh, they have numbers and explanations, and I just don't see the need for me to use a lot of alphabets in my stamping. Now, sentiments, I've realized, as I've been hunting down a specific stamp to say thank you or something, that I do need that. So in my sentiment journey, I haven't unmounted them. Maybe I'll do an unmounting video, or I'll go through like a process with you of how it looks. I think you do need at least 2 sentiment. If you have 50, let's say you have 50 Happy Halloweens, right? No, you don't need 50 Happy Halloweens. You probably need at the max 3, if that, 3 or 4. And since I'm not huge on sentiments, I'm all about saying you don't need as many. But if you're into sentiments, then keep the ones you want and like. But if they're serving you no purpose, then you don't need to keep them. Like, that's just a waste. I told you already I stamped this upside down, so it looks a little bit weird. I was looking at the picture, and I was like, why does mine not look like theirs? Well, because, you know, sometimes I can be an oddball and not follow the proper procedure. So I'm going to use this green. And I was trying to find my... what are those? My other gel pens, because I need another color. I wanted to find my yellow, because the gold that I have a little stand, not a stand, a toolbox on the wall that I got from Lowe's, or either Lowe's, or what's the other one? Home Depot. That's on the wall, and it has like drawers. So I think it's 48 drawer. I have 2 of those. And I have random things in there, like I have these in a drawer. I have the embossing stuff in a drawer. I have tape, you know, I have random things in there. Those are the things that I grab frequently to keep off, you know, to try to keep off the desk, but it didn't work. I still have a lot of tape on the desk. And, you know, I've been practicing putting everything back when I finish with it, so that does make it a lot easier to work on. I think I'm gonna go in on this little butterfly right here, and I don't really want to make the butterfly's wings match up, because I've seen butterflies that have random colors all over them, and maybe I haven't seen those in nature. I've seen them in drawing, but I just want to keep it kind of a little bit not the same on each wing. I want all the colors to be there, but not the This is gonna be longer than 15 minutes. Not the each side. I don't want each side to be the exact same. I hope that makes sense. And again, this picture kind of looks like it was watercolored, whereas I've decided to go deep into the colors versus, you know, leaving some spots open. And I went to try to find, I have a watercolor paper pad, but I was just like, I'm nervous about this watercoloring situation. I don't know why. I feel like I can do it, but I'm just nervous. I tried watercoloring before, and I was a little bit too heavy-handed. So, of course, you know, I have to do some research before I actually get into trying to watercolor. Because I did purchase watercolor, you know, equipment. But I haven't used it yet. So, not as effective as I think I could use it. That's what I should say. Because I've used it, it just didn't come out watercolory like I wanted it to. I was trying to color with it versus do strokes, you know, like real watercolor artists show you different techniques. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I'm going to go over this with the silver. I don't know why I can't trace properly sometimes. I just want to give it a dewy effect. So, and right here, I'm going to go in here and do that. I'm going to figure out this card base because I want to do some other stuff on this as well, and I'll be back. All right, so we got everything colored up. This is the blurry one. You can't even tell now, can you? Nope, can't tell. Blurry, and then this is the one that wasn't blurry. So what I have done is I inked the edges using spun sugar. It's very light, so I'm not sure if you can tell. Then I took this paper, and this is from the cinnamon and clove. I thought it would look really good together since it has kind of the same motif going on. I just want to cover this up, and then I'm going to take these David Tutor Celebrate A6 size, because the stamp, you know, I take my 8.5 by 11 paper and cut it down in the middle and make 4 stamps, but for 4 images, 4 sheets of paper to stamp out. For some reason, I did that one this size wrong. These were too big, so I didn't want to cut it down and make it even smaller. I felt like we could just do this. So I have 3 cards that I've taken out so we can make our easel portion, the folding mechanism. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. All right, so I got it. My trimmer did not want to trim this up, I guess because it has some type of texture on the card. I don't know. Who knows? But that's okay, because even though we have the card base, we're going to layer it up so you can't really tell too much. You won't be able to tell too much. I'm just trying to stick with the paper. Even though it has 4, it has the stamped image, 2 sheets, and then the card base. We're only going to do 2 or 3 like this. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round my corners last. You're probably wondering, why didn't you round the corners yet? I always do that last for some reason whenever I'm doing these kinds of cards. So an easy way to do this, if you've never watched any easel making videos before, is just to take your your mechanism that you want to be the easel portion and attach it, fold it over to the middle. You don't have to worry about a scoreboard or anything. You don't even have to worry about a bone folder. You have your finger right there. You could use, but for reinforcement, you can score the mark so it's a lot neater and easier to do. And you could take your tool, your boning tool, your creasing tool. And I usually try to do a fold on top and back, fold over in the front and the back, just so it does work a lot better for us. And there you have it. You won't see the fold at all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach these 2 pieces together. Whenever you do your easel portion, make sure you attach that piece. Don't do it the other way. And let's see. I think we're going to put it at the top because you won't really be paying attention to the top portion that much. And I am going to use tape only because this is kind of thick. So I'm going to go ahead and use some tape. Okay, so we got our mechanism down. We have the tape. And now we're going to put our first piece on, and the cut part is at the top. Now you don't have to take 2 card bases and make it. You could always just, do some math, and you could take a long sheet of paper and make your fold where it folds back onto itself. That's a lot of math for me, and I think it's just less, for me, it's less of a headache to do it this way. But you definitely could take a long sheet of paper and cut it down and have this sheet that I'm putting on top right now fold back onto itself after you fold that other piece down. I know some people on here on YouTube have created, they've given you wonderful calculations and how to do that. I just find that that's just a lot of work. Unless you want a big card. Even if you wanted a big card, you could just take 2 sheets of paper and do that. You could do this with a 12 by 12 if you wanted to. So, it's totally up to you. It's totally your decision. Do whatever you feel is going to make you happy. So now what we're doing is just folding this over and going to ensure that this fold, my crease is really good, because that mechanism is crazy. So I talked to my uncle recently about some family stuff, and he never told me, he never called me and told me that he got the card. And I normally don't call people and ask them did they get the card, but since it was such a special card, he's turning 60, I'm just off camera making my corners rounded. I asked him did he get the card, and he was like, yes, I got it, I liked it. Sitting on the mantle now. I was like, oh, okay, great. Because, he's always talking about going fishing. And then the big roommate is like, I want to go fishing. Like, just call him and, set up a time. But my uncle, which is great. I love that about him. If he tells you he's leaving at 10:23 and 52 seconds, he's leaving at that time. And the big roommate is kind of like sluggish when it comes to being on time, which I hate. Because he makes us late, which I hate being late for events. If I tell you I'm going to be there at a certain time, I want to be there at a certain time, unless it's something that's out of my control, like traffic, things like that. I just hate it. But he's kind of like lackadaisical when it comes to time and being oriented to other people's time. Because time is the only thing you can't get back. Like if you lose your money, you can, you can get your money back. Maybe you can find it or work for it. You can get back on it. But time, is a very, 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 very valuable asset. So I'm just taping this. So on this card, I was thinking that we needed to add a little bit of something because they used a bow, a fabric bow, a ribbon bow, not a fabric bow. It is fabric, but a bow made from ribbon, and I can't do that. I don't know how to. I know how to make them, but they look kind of not pretty in my opinion. So I thought we could do a cluster of flowers on the side, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have to make a bow and just put it right here on the side. I do have some enamel pieces, but I don't know if that will work. So let me try to make a bow and I'll come back. All right, so we made a bow, right? This little thing right here. I'm not the best bow maker from scratch, but I can make them. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to put it in the middle because I didn't give it enough space, right? That's why I was thinking those clusters of flowers would be better. Let me know what you think. I'm going to go ahead and put something else, like some bling or something. But leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think I should have done. Should I put a cluster of flowers? Should I put some paper flowers? Should I just add some bling, which is what I think I'm going to do? Because I was thinking even with this little bow, I could put it to the side right here, glue it, and then bust out the hot glue gun and throw something on top of it. Well, not throw, but you know what I mean. Like put something on top. But now I think I'm just going to add this bling right here. Oh. All right, remember, don't be like me. Be better than me. Put your whatever adhesive stuff you're going to do on the back first before you plan out your front. I mean, before you actually adhere the front down. Like, I think if I was using hot glue, it would be different. But since I'm going to be using some wet glue, it's best if I do it like this. So let me go ahead and do this. Assemble it, and then we'll work on the front together. All right, so we got our first piece on. If you hear any noise in the background, I do apologize. It's late in the morning here. Like, people leaving to go to work late. It's like 7, I think 6 or 7. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit later. I'm not sure. I didn't sleep well last night. I'm having some vision issues. I had to go to, well, I didn't have to. I went to the emergency room and I have another tear. I could put it, let's see. I'm going to try this bow since I didn't put anything down. I'll put it on here like this because they do have it hanging off the bottom in the original inspiration piece. So they do have it like that. So let's just see. Don't give up so quick, so easy, Brandy, right? All right, let's see. So we can put it right there. Let's go ahead and put our top piece down. And I am going to double stack it. And double stacking just means I'm going to put foam on both pieces versus one. So if you're ever wondering where you can write your note at, I made a card and sent it to a friend. And I wrote my note on the inside. So when the person opens it, they can read it and then close it back up. And if they display the card, no one can see what you wrote. No one can see what the sender has written in the inside of the card. For my uncle, I wrote on the back of his right here because it was all, solid. Wasn't shaped or anything like that. So we're going to put this just like that. And I really love this color paper. It just goes so well. Even though I don't think the cinnamon and clove paper pad is like a very attractive paper pad because it's so dark. It's darker colors. But it has a lot of dark flowers and things like that. But I think it goes well when you can find the right sentiment and the right colors and paper to go along with it. It's a very pretty, complementary, it complements the other paper very well. It is some pretty images in there that stand alone by themselves, but for the most part, it's just kind of like, it's all right. I got it and because I like paper, but I haven't been to Michael's in a while, and then Stephanie did. I gotta start watching haul videos. Stephanie did a haul video on some paper. I was like, ooh, paper. But I still didn't go. I was just like, no, I can't. All right, so you see how that is looking. That is going to be the completed card, but I'm going to try. I made 2 bows. I made this pink bow as well. I haven't cut it yet because I thought that would be too much pink. So then I went with the yellow. I don't know if I told y'all, I used Dusty Concord, the distressed ink color, to stamp that Hello Beautiful in. And you see, when you look at it, I don't want it to be like that. I just don't like that. So we are going to bling it up a little bit with some bling. Let's see what we're going to be using. And then I'll come right back and show you the completed project. All right, so here's our completed project. I did the cluster of flowers. I put 2 pink, 1 green, and 1 purple, and then I just threw a pink one on here because, you know, it's all pinky kind of, and I just wanted to keep it kind of easy and simple for me. But please let me know in the comment section what you would have done differently. And then, so easy folding. I think this will go through the mail no problem. Once this actually sets in, this little flower piece, it would be great. And then, so I really wanted to use, where is it? I want to use these sugar cube little iridescent things from Martha Stewart. So I was going to do a cluster on the same side as I did that, and it didn't come out right. It looked a mess. So I just took some butterfly punches. I already had one of them punched out. Glued that one down solid over the boo-boo. And then I put this one on top, and I put a little heart, that little iridescent heart. And then on the inside, I just did that so the Hello Beautiful wouldn't look so bare. So these are our completed projects. I hope that you've enjoyed today's Magazine Monday. And until next Monday, happy crafting.